What is the name of the song?
Oh, the name of the song is No More Division.
No More Division. That's what I thought it was. This episode, we caught up with Erik Rabasca. Erik's been a fixture in Fairfield County music scene for many years, entertaining many different audiences and inspiring lyrics and rhythms. Most people know Erik from his solo gigs or from his band, The Light Warriors. Erik is also the founder and producer of the independent label Highest Frequency Records. Erik usually has several projects running at any time, with Ecstatica, Human Tries Collective, Lionsgate, and his Light Warriors band. Erik can be found online on Instagram as Erik Rabasca, or find Linktree link in the description, or follow the Q code on the screen.
Learning process.
Everything's
learning.
completely a learning process.
You'll have this down in like a half hour.
And that's what we're here to do, learn one of your songs. So
Nice segue.
yeah, thank you.
What would you like to learn?
Well, what would you like to teach us? Put it that way.
Man.
You know, I mean, we were just discussing.
We don't have all day, so
we don't have all day. So we
simple songs for simple minds.
Simple, but first,
we're gonna go in the key of E.
Oh man, you're
tell me he's going to put a capo on a ukulele.
Yeah,
they're short enough. I didn't think you'd have room for one.
What are the chords we're looking at here?
It's E, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, F sharp minor, E, F sharp minor. That's the whole tune. But there are some, like, we'll get into the rhythmic nuances of it. Yeah. And there is a little bit of a sustained, put it, other than you hold on the G sharp minor at the end of the chorus before you go back down to the F sharp. So it'd be something like, this is the most of the tune. But at the end of the chorus, it goes. So that's a little
So
tricky.
It's E,
E to start.
F sharp minor,
F sharp minor, G sharp minor, F sharp minor.
All right, I gotta think about G sharp minor, which is on here.
You can put the capo on if you want.
Well, no, I still have to do math.
Oh, I still have to do math then. No, I never got along with capos. Every time I play with somebody with capos, they go, "Yeah, it's just an F." It's like, no, that's not an F. You're capoed on the third fret.
You're
Right. Exactly. So
right, I just got to not play a couple songs. I guess you could play not play a couple strings. That's all.
Okay, yeah, you can go double stops.
No. It's just my F sharp minor is fine, but my G sharp minor is not great on the ukulele. But that's okay.
Why is that? I don't understand.
Because we're only dealing with 4 strings here, even though I have a double string here, and it's a re-entry instrument. So I have a G here.
Okay.
I have an A up here.
I see.
Right. So my F sharp minor is real simple. chord. But then to go G sharp minor, it's like, it's a weird bar.
It's a weird fingering?
It's just a weird fingering.
Yeah.
And E
is the way it's tuned.
E is honestly not a popular key on ukulele.
Okay, good to know. Is it the saddest of all keys, though? That's what I really want to know.
I think that's an E flat.
What?
Sorry, everything leads back to Spinal Tap.
Yeah. Actually, I played this song once before. Not this version of it. It was at Peaches.
Oh,
at the jam night up there.
That's right.
You and Delaney were swapping songs back and forth.
Yep. I remember that.
Doing the zoom to your.
That was way back when.
That was way back when, 5-6 years ago.
So now we established the chord, what is the name of the song?
Oh, the name of the song is No More Division.
No More Division. That's what I thought it was. Okay.
Yeah. It's Dennis's favorite song, so we have to do this.
It's Dennis's favorite song. We have to do it.
I think you like it more than I like it, actually.
Could be.
And speaking of which, like, what was the influence for this song?
War. It was war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was the Bush years that I got the idea, the phrase came to me, and we were invading Iraq, and there are still no weapons that were found, so we wasted how many billions of dollars and destroyed how many lives for, daddy issues, ultimately.
It's sad.
It's pathetic, yeah.
Yeah, it is pathetic.
And here we are again. In every election year, it seems to come up for me that I get into this tune. I mean, I don't want to be a bummer, but it shouldn't be this hard to come together.
No, it shouldn't.
We're all human. if we can see, if we fail to see the humanity in each
Yeah.
other, then that's when things fall
I think
apart.
it's a lack of empathy for others.
Yeah, yeah. You
Well,
know, politicians are never going to solve anybody's problem.
No.
You know, so
And unfortunately, you know, you write this song 20 years ago, and it's relevant then, and for some reason, it's still
And it
incredibly relevant.
let's
And
hope.
probably will be in
Still
another
and
20
in
years.
another 20 years, still be relevant. You know.
Yeah.
Let's hope. I mean, let's hope. I would actually like to have oneness before 20 years. That's of
The
course never
puppet
going to
masters
happen,
keep it that way. Keep us stirred up so we don't fight them.
yeah. But the other thing is like, if we're pursuing anything spiritual and without the dogma of religion, and we were talking earlier about the yoga, memes and things of that nature. You know, if you don't buy into that, and you can just be kind and present and human, that's a spiritual quest. You know, for everybody.
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
world,
it's. I personally think, you know, not we're going off in a deep dive in spirituality, but I think it's really about being responsive as opposed to reaction. And you respond to something, and if you can really think about it and respond with awareness, then you can move forward in a more healthy way.
versus emotionally react.
Emotionally react.
Yeah, letting the emotion make the decision versus you having the self mastery to make your own decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But then if we can, you know, when we tend to listen to respond as opposed to listen to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, so we've
Most
been
people,
we've been in Eric's head. We've been in
You've been in
Steve's
my head.
head.
Well, how about we get in your
Yeah, what do you
head,
think, Dennis?
That would be the worst thing you could do right now. You'd be lost forever in there.
Yeah, you know, so it's a fun tune actually. People
it's kind of an upbeat
want to
tune.
be, you know, people ultimately want to be unified. So,
Yeah, I've always taken it as being a more positive song.
yeah,
It's got a good upbeat tempo to it.
yeah. Sometimes you need the double negative to really get through to people.
Yeah.
No more division. Who wants it? Nobody.
Yeah.
You know, just be kind.
See, there was a song like that. War, good God, y'all.
Yeah.
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
Exactly. War. Huh. Good God. Was that Edwin Starr? Is that who that was?
Oh, great. We'll overdub this.
We'll overdub that. I don't want to pull the phone out and say.
Who is that?
Who is that?
I think it's Edwin Starr was, and I think it was his only hit, if I'm not mistaken. But all right, so the rhythm. Let's talk about the rhythm. The rhythm's like, you know, it's punchy. It's fun. It's not quite calypso, but it's definitely islandy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if there's something that you hear as we're going through it, you know, we'll go through it a few times and we'll figure out what you guys, you know, what you feel most.
Right.
But the chorus is, you definitely want to take it up a notch in the chorus. So if there's a variation that you might want to think about for those chords, or something higher up the neck,
Yeah.
you know, that could be nice too.
I got to do math again because I got the capo on.
Okay, yeah, math is essential.
Little stickers.
Well, I got to go. Okay, that was fifth. All right, okay. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't usually use the capo on the uke, but.
So the rhythm is it's sharp, you know. It's like a. There's that little hang, right?
yeah.
So at the end of, I think, what is that, an 8 count?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of that, you're.
Do that again. That's a quick down, too.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. So let me play it. Let me play it through for you so you can hear it, because the thing that makes it dance is the attack, you know.
Yeah.
And if the attack is off, then we're not going to get that feeling, that like that sort of jumpy, you know, dancey body movement kind of feeling. So it's little dynamics, you know. then it ends on the E. We could do that 4 times. 3 and 4. And then I do this little thing at the end.
You start it that way too, don't you?
Sometimes. Yeah. It depends on the live setting.
Yeah.
I kind of mix it up with the band with Light Warriors. We've got a new arrangement actually for it. So it's gonna have It's gonna have drum solos. It's gonna have a whole nother riff on top of that little descending riff that I do.
It's kind of a evolving song.
Yeah, for the times you gotta keep updating. And, yeah.
You feel like that's evolving. I mean, originally, what was the style that you were thinking of with the song?
The best songs that come through, they just come through me. Like I recognize that there's something happening, and I just get out of the way, And it's really cool when it happens. And it's such a simple song, but it just happened to come almost. The rhythm evolved through playing with it, But initially it was like. All right, so that can get boring over 3 minutes. So how do you make it interesting,
Right.
And that just came about through playing with it.
But and part of your process, I mean, do you come from the music end or the lyric end?
Either. Or both. And. In this particular case, I had the No More Division. No more division. And then that phrase I forgot about after I had stopped touring, and then I finally wrote the song, and I think 2007, maybe, and then put it away for a while and brought it back for the Light Warriors' second album. But yeah, because I never felt like I got I had recorded it once before, and I just didn't get the right. I wanted to hear it again in a different light. At the time that I first recorded it, I enjoyed it, but then I wanted a fuller, bigger, band sound, which I ended up ultimately getting.
Well, one thing you and me have talked about in the past is the flow.
Right.
Can you explain that a little better?
Yeah.
Or what you can explain of it?
That's the question. When do you recognize? Are you present enough and calm enough and at peace enough to be able to recognize when something is coming through you? And I can't speak for any other artist, but I feel like Coltrane, it came through him. A Love Supreme. So how do you get into that state of mind? I wish I actually could explain it better. I don't know if I can.
The thing is that it is so personal. That's the thing. When it comes to even whether you're songwriting or playing music, or when you really just kind of let it go and just allow yourself to be that conduit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those things happen without even realizing it sometimes. And
then
you step back and you're like, holy crap, what was that?
Yeah.
And that's how did that happen?
How did that happen?
Yeah, and where does it come from? I mean, I'd like to believe that there's more to what we see than what we see,
Right.
And this stuff is so magical when it happens. I mean, a song like "The Devil's Angels," which I know we've talked about before, which is the first song on the first Light Warriors song on the first record. That came through. I wrote that whole thing in 30 minutes. I don't even remember writing it. It just happened. And that was fully formed. I think there was maybe one lyrical edit later on, but I didn't do much. That one was easy. No More Division was fairly easy for the most part. It just kind of happens. I mean, lyrically, I'd like to say that I was inspired by conscious lyrics always. I think Fishbone was the first, and Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On," which is one of the all-time greatest records, obviously, and for me, one of the all-time greatest records, Fishbone's "Truth and Soul," which was talking about all the stuff that those guys were dealing with as they were growing up in L.A. and dealing with police and racism and stuff like that, and also having some fun tunes like "Boning in the Boneyard," which is really a great bass song for all you bass players out there. Dennis, I'm talking to you. If you haven't heard "Boning in the Boneyard" and you're a bass player, you are in for a treat. But yeah, I've always gravitated to that, and then that's what spiritual jazz was for me when I discovered that in the '90s and started to go downtown New York City all the time, and that's what reggae was for me in the 2000s. A lot of it is spiritually, socially conscious music. I don't think I'm a good storyteller yet. Maybe I haven't gotten enough stories to tell, but I'm kind of working on that. But I feel like that's the next phase. It's like, how do you tell a story and, hopefully inspire or maybe have some insight. It doesn't always have to be that way, but I just tend to lean more towards the serious pursuit of music. I mean, music is fun, of course.
Yeah.
But it's really fun when you're aiming for some kind of elevation and you have liftoff, and maybe that's what the flow is. It's like you're just playing, and then you play so much and you play enough that you have this feeling overtake you, and the music plays itself.
Yes. Yeah, I've been there on songs on stage. You're playing long, and you start the jam section of it, and suddenly you're like, how'd that turn into a 12-minute song?
Right, right.
But everybody's just having a riot with it.
Yeah. And that's when the music plays itself. There's nothing greater.
Yeah, and when you can find those people to do it with too. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
because sometimes you're fighting.
Well, I mean, talk about unification. It's just really hard to get everybody on the same page. It's in the same headspace with the same goals, striving for the same reasons. I mean, how hard is that to find? It's almost impossible.
So the format of it is kind of a
we'll do the groove, verse, chorus, verse, chorus,
and the chorus has the hold in it.
The chorus. The end of the chorus has the end of the 8 count has the hold in it.
Okay.
So at the end of every 8, I think it's on the 8 that you want to hold. Yeah.
Then it's kind of a jump down.
You ready? You guys ready? Ready to rock?
What's the worst that could happen? we try it again.
We can start it over again. All right. And 1, 2, 3, and. All these whims of misinformation causing divisions. We're on 2 sides of the same coin. Time to look through untainted prism. No more division. No more division. E. Something like that, right?
Yep. Still not catching those breaks down.
I actually forgot that before we go into the third verse that we do. So here's the little tricky parts that I forget. That I was
what
just
I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, what I forgot to tell you was, so that hold on the G is before the first verse, at the end of the first chorus, and then I don't think we do it again. I think it's just a straight. Simple philosophies planting many seeds in our resistance. For the love of all gods, it's a quiet moment now filled with endless brilliance. Yeah, no more division. So we could do a double chorus at the end if you want, but I think eye contact at that point would be good.
Yeah, just follow. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to give it a listen, or do you want to run it again?
Let's run it again.
Yeah.
We'll run it again. You want harmonies in there?
Sure.
I'm gonna try to find some.
Find some.
No more division. You can go low. You can go lower. No more
division.
No more division. No more division. No more division. Yeah. No more division. No.
I can do that. And no more division.
No more division. Or you could just do the lower octave.
Division.
No more division. No more division.
No more division.
1, 2, 3, 4. No more division. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, guys. Right on.
Well, we better just cut and paste that through it, because that'll be the last one.
Remember it, right?
You want to try the vocal one more time? What we want now? No more division. No more division. No more division. All right, cool. Let's do it.
Okay.
So there are some other subtleties that I don't think I've pointed out either. But as the You can hear like more staccato in the verses, and then the fuller chord build up, as it builds up through the song. So if you could listen for that, that's going to be, these are just everybody's like, oh yeah, 3 chords, no problem. But
Yeah.
in order to keep it interesting, like if we just did this for 3 minutes, people would be bored to tears,
Right.
So you got to throw these little twisty turns in there. Did I say twisty turns? Somebody said that to me. I think it was my niece that said that to me. Something about
Little twisty turns in it.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it was, but anyway. So let's do it from the top.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All these whims of misinformation causing divisions. We're on 2 sides of the same coin, time to look through untainted prisms. Damaging mistakes repeated over thousands of years. Break free the vicious cycle, live a moment without fear. What we want now, no more division. No more division. No more division. You got the strength to speak your piece and deal with consequences. When we beat our fists against the wall, are we beating down heavy resistance? Consciousness can't stand taller than these mountains of convention. We can stop the misery, move forward, take some action. What we want now, no more division. No more division. No more division. We got these highest levels of creation conceived in daily communal existence, pushing higher than revolution with understanding and firm insistence. Simple philosophies planting many seeds in our resistance. For the love of our gods is a quiet moment I feel with endless brilliance. What we want now, no more division. No more division. No more division. What we want now, no more division. 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 No more division, yeah.
All right.
That's not bad. That's
Not
pretty
bad.
good.
Do you find, actually, speaking of which, when you're kind of working by yourself, coming up with these like kind of intricate, and here you are like trying to translate it to us,
Yeah.
as a solo artist as opposed to in a group, how does it affect your songwriting, or you just go with it and everyone else has to figure it out?
If there's, I've tried to write for the group before, with some of these things in mind. But the songs come through the way they come through,
Yeah.
And if there's something that needs to get worked out, then we'll just practice the hell out of it until everybody nails it, And I mean, we've worked on a song for 3, 4, 5 hours before we got it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, it's a focus. It's a certain, you start to learn people's tendencies as you play with them more.
Yes. Do you always solo write, or do you ever collaborate?
Lately. But no, I'm going to be doing a lot more collaborations, hopefully. I've met a lot of great songwriters in the last year, and everybody's like, hey, let's do something. So it's just a matter of finding time in everybody's schedules, because we're all so incredibly busy. I mean, I've been doing 8 to 10 to 12, 14 gigs a month for the last number of months, and I need to slow down so I can actually, create space for that.
Yeah.
I love collaboration though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you find, speaking of, doing gigs and stuff, especially in this area, open to the singer-songwriter, the original type thing? Because I know so many bands and so many performers that sometimes are reluctant to do their originals because they think no one will.
Yeah, well,
no one will come.
We should support that more.
Yeah, well, my thing is I always say to someone, I said, well, that cover was an original at one point. You gotta realize that.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
So,
And what
but do you find have you've obviously established yourself as this singer songwriter and original type group, but did you meet any kind of resistance in the area to
Here?
that? Yeah.
No, everybody's been really open to what I do. I think it's also just I've been doing what I do for so long now. I'm not playing places. Exactly, I'm playing places wherever people are going to listen to solo music. A lot of the gigs that I think the restaurants are looking for covers, and rightfully so. Restaurants and bars want to have people sing along and have a good time.
Right.
And I'm grateful to be able to play places like Cafe 9 up in New Haven, and I'm playing the Milford Arts Council for the second month in a row on Sunday, and I'm playing Sacred Heart University on next Friday with my band Light Warriors. So the gigs happen, and you just work into those circles. I would love for Stanford to have a greater support for and a venue for live original music. Original music.
Yes, original. Yeah.
Just known for original music. I mean, there's great musicians out there. I wish they would write more.
Mm-hmm.
I have great respect for the community, and I see so much talent, and I'm just like, keep writing, and let's just turn some of these nights into pure original
nights. Yeah. It's just a matter of finding the venue to support it, or even in the open mic situation, people tend to shy away. It's like, well, but that's the perfect place to start working.
What they're there
stuff.
for.
That's exactly what they're there for.
Bob Dylan started at open mics. Everybody starts at open mics. I'm not comparing myself to Bob Dylan for the record.
Well, some people have compared you to Bob Dylan.
I did get one comparison.
You got one, yeah.
That was a really nice review too. You just do what inspires you, and it increasingly gets natural for me. I just don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. I think if the stuff is good and it's honest enough, people will respond to it.
Yeah.
It's sometimes when you're at an open mic and someone plays something, it's like, do I know that song? It's like, no, that's an original, and that's actually a great compliment. And they think because that's a song that speaks to them, and they're like, I should have known that song already. It's like, no, that's an original.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm getting better at the last few tunes I've written and tried out have gotten very, very positive response, more so than even the Light Warrior stuff. Mm-hmm. So, and I have a lot more to just finish and work through. So there's going to be a solo acoustic, pure singer-songwriter record, which I've never done. I mean, I have multiple projects. I've got Lionsgate, which mixes reggae, hip hop, drum and bass, trip hop, and African music. We do like African high life and Afro beats and stuff like that. So we blend it all together. That's just one project. My Ecstatica project is like psychedelic rock and all of the kinds of psychedelic rock you can look to. From Floyd to Bowie, and then you mix the songwriting influences of Dylan and the Grateful Dead and the band and that kind of stuff into that. Lou Reed, David Bowie, Jane's Addiction, Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's just one project, And then Light Warriors, its own jazzy funk meets or funky rock meets jazzy reggae type stuff, and then I've got experimental projects on top of that. So. Which is just pure instrumental music.
Yeah.
So in his spare time, he meets with us.
And then he meets with us, yeah.
Which is 20 minutes a year.
But what I found is so many people, I think, of our generation are much more open to different sounds. Like they're not pigeonholed into I'm a hard rocker.
Yeah.
I'm a this, I'm a that.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe we can blame MTV for
Maybe.
exposing us to a lot of different stuff instead of just listening to that, one FM, WNEW or whatever.
Or the Village Voice.
Or the Village.
Yeah.
I've just, if you found that maybe accounts for all those different things in your stylings.
I was fortunate to have a really interesting or a group of musician friends in high school who were really interested in music. I had one friend who turned us all onto Sun Ra at like 15, 16 because he was reading the Village Voice.
Yeah.
And we found Fishbone and Jane's Addiction, and we had another friend whose parents had a record store, so we got exposed to the coolest stuff early. Like I listened to Guns N' Roses before it was even released. Wow. And that was for 87, 88, I think that was. That was a giant record. Jane's Addiction was huge, and nothing sounded like them back then. There's those influences and that curiosity definitely got me into free jazz and the more experimental side of jazz than the bebop and the other stuff, which I love, but doesn't excite me in the way doesn't excite me in the way that Pharoah Sanders and Alice Coltrane did post bop and all the 90s guys that I listened to. 80s guys, which are the whole John Zorn scene is amazing and endless and still very vibrant. I also, in the 90s, got exposed to the William Parker side. So you have these two downtown jazz scenes. Zorn says it's more experimental music, but, that stuff was endless and at the highest level of musicianship. And I would be out almost every night checking that out in the 90s. And so that energy of that seeps into, I think, and I think that feeds the sort of spiritual quest of the socially conscious and the spiritually conscious music, that just comes through. Yeah. And getting back to your question earlier about the flow, I mean, that's the pure flow. Just being able to spontaneously compose and make music for 90 minutes and entertain a crowd.
Right.
Like, that was the stuff that really excited me. Songwriting is a whole other game. And when it comes through like it does for the Devil's Angels, like it does for No More Division, that's a great thing. It's just easy. There are tunes I've worked at for a couple of years that took a while because I'm working with jazz chords like, or that kind of stuff. I don't even know what those chords are still. So I'm just, all right.
Pick the bass note.
What if I move my fingers from the major? I know the major 7.
Yeah.
But what if I move my fingers? So I think this is a major 9 sharp 7 actually. And then what if I didn't play the root on the A string, but played it on the E string, and that opened up a whole other world,
Yeah.
So I mean, songwriting is. It's fascinating. I wish I had. There's so many ways to approach it. It's endless. It's endless discovery and endless growth, really.
So you talked about all these things that have influenced you over the years. Was there one certain thing that you obviously wasn't always a songwriter. You started off playing covers, I'm sure, in different bands. Is there one particular point that you could just say, this is what caused me to go this direction?
But even before I answer that question, I played guitar. Well, okay, so I guess on one level I did learn some covers. But I learned by playing along and finding my own way in those songs as opposed to actually learning the chords. Like I would jam with the Allman Brothers Mountain Jam, that 33-minute Mountain Jam. I put that on repeat. That's how I really learned how to play the guitar. Mm-hmm. And then I started to learn chords after that. Because I was in college.
What am I doing, right?
I didn't have any aspirations for music. I had no aspirations for music, and I just wanted to play. And oftentimes I would just be noodling in my room and guys would be like, shut up, I got to study, So, I didn't get serious to answer that question. I didn't really get serious about it until I think it was in the mid 90s that I saw a group called the Screaming Headless Torsos. And I couldn't find anybody to go with me because the name scared the shit out of people, but they were they were a jazz funk thrash rock band, and they were all a bunch of Berkeley cats. Highest. No, they could play. There's nothing that these guys can't play. Like they are brilliant. All of them brilliant musicians. And I went to go see the show by myself on like a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night. I read about it in the Village Voice, and I said, okay, I got to go check this out. I couldn't find anybody to go with me. I went by myself. I got there just before they went on, and they proceeded to just really rip my face off. It was the best and most incredible music I've ever seen. The energy of the room was like, and the songs were outrageous, and I just couldn't understand what was going on. So I eventually took lessons from him. And that's when I started to get really serious about music. I had written some songs before that and done some open mics, but I wasn't serious about it until that moment. And that guy, just his name's Dave Fusinski, just incredible guitar player. I mean, I'd listen to Hendrix, I'd listen to Miles and Coltrane and all that stuff. And, you know, of course, growing up, my early years was heavy metal. Yeah. When I was a teenager, I was a Maiden fan and a Metallica fan and a Slayer fan. You know, I was just into all that hard, heavy stuff. Classic rock was always on. Motown was always on when I was really young. And whatever, that was all over pop radio back in the day. So all of that just kind of seeps in, and I think I'm only now just really getting a sense of this is what I am musically, and this is how I like to write, you know. And increasingly, what I'm finding is that if I'm gigging too much, then I'm not writing. So I'm trying to find the balance of that. You know, I really need to slow down and kind of, you know, pluck it from the sky, let it come.
Take a sabbatical every now and then, and
yeah.
Sometimes I think, you know, maybe as a songwriter, you want people to get whatever they want to get out of it, but sometimes you also want to go, well, this is what it's about. You know, this is where it came from, kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Do audiences want that, or do they want the mystery? I honestly don't know.
I'm not sure. You know,
and I don't really think about it. If I feel like, you know, at a show, if I feel like explaining something, I usually, like I said, I get out of the way and. Let it go. And I have a tendency to ramble, so I have to cut myself off. I'll talk your ear off if you get me going, you know?
Get your little egg timer.
Not for nothing. We want to hear you sing and play, right?
right. So but I think there's a way to tee up a tune. Something just
speaked over there. Might have. That's all right.
Okay.
Oh, bye, dead battery.
Dead battery.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna just
cut
to
we'll finish you
playing at this point.
Okay.
Now, I think.
All right. I'll do the solo for you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen. No more division. That was terrible. I'm so bad at that shit. And all these whims of misinformation causing divisions. We're on two sides of the same coin, time to look through untainted prisms. Damaging mistakes repeated over thousands of years. Break free the vicious cycle, live a moment without fear. What we want now, no more division. No more division. No more division. You got the strength to speak your piece and deal with consequences. When we beat our fists against the wall, are we beating down heavy resistance? Consciousness can stand taller than these mountains of convention. We can stop the misery, move forward, take some action. What we want now, no more division. No more division. No more division. We got these highest levels of creation conceived in daily communal existence, pushing higher than revolution with understanding and firm insistence. Simple philosophies planting many seeds in our resistance. For the love of all gods is a quiet moment not filled with endless brilliance. What we want now, no more division, no more division, no more division.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Thank you, guys.
I love his voice. When he's talking, it's just normal, but when he starts
Starts
singing, it's
singing.
just like, wow. Don't even need a microphone.
Thank you, Dennis. Yeah.
Very good voice.
I think
Thank you, brother. You guys think you got
Okay.
everything you need? Do you
I
want
think
to?
we got everything we need.
I think so.
Yeah. I think
If
we
not, we
definitely got
know where-
stuff we can work with on this. But
If not, we know where to find you, but not when.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if we check your schedule online, we'll find you.
we'll find.
Yeah.
So other than that, how do we find you online? What's the fastest and easiest way to find you?
I think Instagram's got everything. So at Erik Rabasca, Erik with a K,
Yeah.
Rabasca with a C. It's ErikRabasca.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It was great.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right.